really simple diagram. It's a quarter as a diagram.
We need to put it all together.
It just is a simple diagram, right?
Yeah.
Here's your
You guys had something
river
sketched out
corridor,
like that a couple pinups ago.
Civic Center, Lexington Market, and isn't there something in the middle?
Center Plaza,
Center
so
Plaza.
well made.
Right.
Which
That's just
Neither
a
in the
simple
center
diagram.
nor a plaza.
And it's about this system hitting this system.
Right.
And you guys have that basically going out.
Yeah, we have all that. Just we took it for
Civic
granted.
Hearth? Like you're gonna bake stuff? Or did you mean heart?
I was playing around.
I don't think you need that. So this is the existing.
This is all existing.
And you're
Just
gonna highlight
orienting. Yeah. I mean, whenever I show this, it'll
pieces.
exactly.
Are you gonna then overlay something on this to show these are the areas that we're looking at?
Yeah, I'm going to transform this to make the different areas pop out.
Okay. And so we're gonna look at,
And this will be a plan view that'll do a similar thing of having the existing but highlighting the areas that are popping out, much like this one.
it's
So
saying
that
the same
orienting-
thing twice.
You're right.
Use your real estate more wisely. Don't say the same thing twice.
So-
Either do it through there or do it through here.
This one
I-
speaks much more loudly than this one, I would think, as far as
In what
people
way?
people grabbing the gravity of the project and the location of the project. I mean, it speaks much more to the monumentalness of the city hall and this, whereas this you don't really get.
And you're gonna take this out, right?
Yeah, that's gone.
So what's the issue here?
You mean the issue that I'm fixing?
Yeah.
The issue that I'm fixing is that pedestrians must traverse these monumental pieces of concrete full of cars to get where they want to go, and cars just cut up the whole project, cut up the whole downtown.
So
re-
there's a
re-
diagram that is about what you just said. City Hall, courts, space, big ass parking garage, and streets with way too much street space. And that the Civic Center doesn't exist because of all of these cars.
Right.
And that by the time you actually get down to how much space there is, there's cars all over the place. There's cars parked here. This actually narrows, so the street gets wider here. You know, you're setting up that the same way that Cindy shows how because of cars it degrades the Lexington market.
Right.
You're showing that cars degrade this.
Right. Exactly.
And the new web allows you to correct that.
It gives it a new potential, new
Because
level
you can
to.
take all that car crap out.
Right.
So say that at the beginning.
Right.
I mean, I'm less concerned with seeing it twice than understanding that.
Okay.
Right. So that's just a simple diagram. You can take an aerial and just highlight all the pieces that have been made horrible because they've been sacrificed to the car. The riverfront, this is the highway, this,
Right.
this thing where it gets, this is just hideous. Where
Right.
it gets wider there, and so it makes the civic space smaller.
Exactly. So it can just highlight the streets, highlight the parking lots.
Highlight
and
all
say-
the things of how this area is damaged by cars.
Great.
Then, what we're able to do is to create a new civic center because we're going to reclaim all that space.
Right. Reclaim. That's good.
Then show us the plan. Here's the plan. And the plan has three pieces.
3 pieces. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Don't talk about that anymore. You've set that up already.
Right.
So show us this larger plan. 1, 2, 3. And orient us.
And spell it out.
3 things. And then you're going to walk us through the different pieces. Now, one of the things is actually Michael and I were walking over here, we were talking about this, and
Yeah.
I go saying, what's up with this Beaux-Art plan? And I said,
Right.
well, there's a Beaux-Art City Hall here and a neoclassical courthouse.
Yeah.
It's perfectly acceptable to do a Beaux-Art plan.
Right.
But if I don't know that this is a classical court or classic City Hall and a neoclassical courthouse,
Right.
I think you're just doing a Beaux-Art plan.
Right.
So you need to show us that, and this is not going to cut it, it's too small. So you can say, this scheme is inspired by, take an entire slide and show us City Hall.
Okay.
Take an entire slide and show us
And maybe add to that, show precedent images of Beaux-Arts
Yeah.
public spaces to say, in this context where you have this kind of architecture, this is the type of public space that makes sense.
Yeah. So, pull up San Francisco City Hall Plaza. Pull up, Paris, in front of the Hotel de Ville in Paris. Just classic Beaux-Arts spaces. Okay. And you just say, okay, so then you set it up, and then you're going to show us 1, 2, 3.
So this emphasis on accessibility, movement. What's another way to say accessibility? It's so overused.
Accessibility.
Just say it. Okay. Formal, and this is like iconic. Just make an iconic statement. We have an iconic bridge and this iconic auditorium-like space.
Is it an auditorium or is it an amphitheater?
Amphitheater. Outdoor.
Auditorium is enclosed.
Okay.
So
Amphitheater. Amphitheater.
All right.
I got a suggestion for the renderings
Please.
as you go forward with
Please.
them. I mean, I think that the renderings, they
These are totally just placeholders.
they want to show just 2 basic ideas.
Okay.
Like what the spatial configuration is, and that's created primarily by massing of the buildings and whatever you're introducing, and then the program.
Massing and program.
Yeah, and so just as in terms of like producing these,
Right.
like I feel like here you're starting to get concerned about little details and such.
Right.
What I would suggest is in you're doing this in Rhino, or
Yeah, SketchUp and Rhino.
okay, in SketchUp, get the basic massing done. Like,
Right.
don't worry about the doorway. Don't worry about this mechanical thing. Get the actually, I guess this is the dome, so maybe that
Yeah.
is important.
Right.
But
Slightly.
get the basic massing done.
Yep.
Get just a basic like idea of what your amphitheater is like, an egg shape or whatever, and then stop modeling, and then in Illustrator or Photoshop, either indicate program with color overlays and labels, so you just understand, okay, there's this space, this is where the programs are, or if you want to indicate landscape or something, just Photoshop in trees. But I would suggest like, just get a basic massing complete, and then with
Right.
labels and colors indicate how the program fits into the space.
Do most of the work in Photoshop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing too is if it's a Beaux-Arts plan,
Yep.
instead of sort of very simple Beaux-Arts principles that inform what you do.
Right.
Diagram those on.
Diagram the principles. Because
Because otherwise, I mean, it's simple.
you're right.
It's you're trying to show this is why things are where they are. And in fact, these things are about sight lines. They're about access.
So it could be there's 2 slides for each axon, and one is, the buildings and such, and then you have, your program overlays, and then the other one is the same massing model, but it just has the arrows that explain those relationships.
What's this one again?
So
Program?
this would be program overlays.
Okay. And this is mass. Okay.
This is,
And those are like connections.
well, it's the diagram. It's the sort of Beaux-Arts
Diagram.
diagram. It's about axes, views,
Axis views.
axis.
But again, like with these renderings, you want to be explaining the basic spatial relationships and how the program fits into it,
Yeah.
rather than giving like a very detailed picture of materials and landscape.
Yeah,
I'm going to
and-
put that
Also
on
interested
loop
in that.
and just listen to it as I sleep.
Don't-
Basic program. Basic program. Y'all been hammering that on to me. Thank you.
Okay. All right.